What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here with another video. I'm going to do part 2 of my most undervalued books in my collection. I received some positive response on this, so I wanted to come up with part 2, give you another 5 books that I feel are underrated, books that I own in my collection currently. Before that, I want to thank everybody. I hit that 1,500 subs. I will be having a giveaway soon, just waiting on a few things to come in, so that way we can share this with the community. But appreciate that. Please hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Check out my content. I think I put some good stuff out here. Also comments. I encourage comments. I love them. That's how this channel and this segment really started. So I've got some suggestions and I want to follow up on it. So let's start off. All right. So I'm going to show you the first book that I think, in my opinion, is an underrated book. And we're going to go with this book right here. And that's New X-Men number 128. And that is the first appearance of Phantom X. If you don't know who Phantom X is, Phantom X basically was part of the Weapons Plus program. An experimentation where they took technology and mixed it with humans to make hybrids. I believe his origin has changed a little bit since then. Initially, everybody thought he was French because of the accent he spoke with, but it turns out he's not. He did that basically to annoy human beings. But anyway, this book here is about a $25 book. But the CGC on this is $160. Now, the 90-day average on this is $159. 12-month average is 133. 2019, it was about the same thing, about $130. And 2018, we were at $117 with this book right here. So definitely an affordable key. I think that when the MCU finally gets to the X-Men and starts doing them correctly, we're going to see characters that we've never seen before. I don't think they just want to rehash the same characters over and over. Of course, your staples like Wolverine, probably a Cyclops, and Phoenix will come along somewhere along the line. But all the other supporting characters, I think that Marvel is going to switch them up. So that's why I believe in that book. Next book that I firmly believe in is this book here, and that's Batman number 655, the first appearance of Damian Wayne. I do own this book. I just wasn't able to locate a copy. I have multiples on this. But first appearance of Damian Wayne, fantastic character. Probably one of my favorite modern DC characters. His sarcasm and the way he acts. Now, he was in Titans, I believe it was, but put this character in a movie, and I think it will be great. Him and Superman's son, when they did Super Sons, was a great read, and would be something that would probably parlay, even if it's just an HBO Max series. I think it would be a lot of fun, and it'd be a really, really good way to go. So this book approximately is a $20 book. CGC 9.8 on this book is $153. The 90-day average on this book is $153. 12-month average on this book is $132. In 2019, this was a $123 book. 2018, this was a $154 book. So as you can see, not a lot of movement in that book, but it is, in my opinion, a solid book to own. Let's look at the next one. The next character I also firmly believe is all new Wolverine number 2. This is the first appearance of Honey Badger. So if you're not aware who Honey Badger is the clone of X-23. Now, X-23 being a clone of Wolverine, she's the clone of X-23. There were multiple iterations of her made. This is the one that survived and has an amazing personality. Just a lot of fun to read. I believe that Laura Kinney is coming to the MCU. And if Laura Kinney comes to the MCU, what better way to give her her own little flair than to have her adventures with Honey Badger. If you don't know, Honey Badger is a very violent, basically like a Wolverine type of character, very violent character. So let's look at the numbers on this. So this book is about a $30 book. Now, there's a second print on this too. I was able to get one from my man Biggie's Comics. He hooked me up with one. But nice book to own. The CGC on this book is only $95. So still a low grade book. This book at that point, if you're gonna pay 30, why not just pay the 95 and get it in 9.8? That's the way I would go. The 90-day average is $103. The 12-month average is $104. 2019, this was a $109 book. And as you can see, in 2018, I believe this is when this book came out. This was a really hot character. It was $165. It's since dropped down a bit, which is buyer's time right now. I would scoop up on this book if I had the opportunity. And then we're going to go to book number 4. So book number 4, as I gave you a quick preview, a book that I do own multiple copies of, is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1. And that's the first appearance of Lunella Lafayette. She is considered the smartest individual in the MCU. That's right. She's smarter than Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and any other person that you could think of in the MCU. And she is only a teenager. Imagine that. I like that a lot. I know there was rumored cartoon series coming out on this. I just think with the way it appears Marvel is pushing forward with youth movement with certain characters, that this character here should see her day in the sun. The book is priced at about $35 for a near mint copy on eBay. The CGC 9.8 on this is $225. It's that white cover, so the spine ticks hide pretty well on it, so you don't see a lot of these, as many in 9.8s. The 90-day average is a $220 book. The 12-month average is $175. So this book's been rising little by little. People are realizing how good this is, and have been picking it up. In 2019, the average on this was $167. And then if you look all the way back to 2018, we have this book at only $115. So basically in 2 years, this book has doubled in price. So that's why I say still affordable in a raw copy, but a definite pickup if you can. As you can see, I pick it up. I think I have like 5 copies of it now. Anytime I see this book, I just paid this for this one. I paid $25 at a con. It was 30 and I got it for 25. So yeah, right about that average, but you don't see it too often at conventions. Something that I've noticed, there are certain books right now that you look for them and you don't see them at the cons. I don't know. It's just interesting. I always feel that certain vendors, dealers, and like everything else, are stockpiling on certain characters. They're holding back on certain characters that they feel, or they have information through whatever sources they have, are going to be making appearances. I saw it with X-Men #4 recently. I couldn't find that anywhere. And then everything huge with the Scarlet Witch erupted. That was all of last year. I hit whatever cons I was hitting from 2019 into 2020, and not too many copies of X-Men #4. It's a little bit of a white whale type of book. But enough on that, and let's look at the last book. And the last book has been speculated on a bit, but I think a lot of room to grow on this book here. And this is A-Force #1. It's the first appearance of Singularity, but it's that all-women's team, kind of like what they did in Avengers Endgame, but with different females. I think that once the MCU gets established, you're going to have your She-Hulk, you have your Miss Marvel, you're going to have a lot of these female characters come along. If the Inhumans come back, you will have Medusa. You're going to see Rogue somewhere in the MCU. It's going to happen. There's also a fantastic Adam Hughes variant on this. I have that book. I just didn't pull it out, but that is one book I do have. So the price on this book is about $15 right now for the #1. That's not the variant. That's just the regular cover. The CGC 9.8 on this is $125. We're talking 90-day average of $78. And this is just something I included on this last slide, and I'll start doing it from now on. I hope it helps a little bit. Let me know. There were 43 sales on this book in 90 days. All right, so this book has been picking up some steam. In the last year, the 12-month average on this book is $74, 95 copies sold. So you're talking, if you have 43 copies, 54 copies sold prior to the 90 days and 43 more sold since. So in the last 90 days, almost half of the year's sales have been bought. So you know that people are starting to do what I'm doing now and specking on this book. 2019, and that's for 9.8 copies. 2019, the average was $74, and there were 23 sales on this book in a 9.8. And in 2018, it was a $53 book in a 9.8 with 4 sales. So, yeah, from 53 to $125, it almost tripled its value. So I think that is a good investment in 2 years. I mean, if you're playing the stock market and you can get that type of return on investment, you're way ahead of the game. But yeah, that was episode number 2. I was initially going to make this a 2-part series, but I've had some requests to continue it. So you know what? If I get a few more requests, you guys let me know if this is something that you guys like to watch, like to hear. I'll voice my opinion on what I think about, books in my collection that I think are undervalued, and books that I do buy, personally buy. But yeah, that's about it. Appreciate it. Thundercats ho, and I'm out. Peace.